Irwell Pallets and Chris Hatton 4yo Maiden auction as they head away on their way towards their first of 15 fences. Fortune and Favour is going to be prominent early on with in for the toss down the inside, and they in turn are being followed out wider by Ross Bridge with stuntman Stephen Dopey going long. Mini Mungus comes next, and they in turn are being tracked by Don Supreme, who in turn is going to be followed out over the first by Jimmy K. And just in behind these races Good Cody. And the overback marker is Bogo as they clear the first, and we've lost one at the first. In for the toss, the one that departed. Luke Murphy happily to his feet as they continue on their way out over fence number 2. And up front, it is showing the way Fortune and Favour, who has the advantage from Ross Bridge on his outside. They in turn are being followed by Mini Mungus, who in turn is being tracked as they make the run that's going to take them downhill into the back straight by stuntman Steve, who on his outside races the keen running Don't Be Gone Long, who has come through to take over the lead. And in behind, further back, to find Don Supreme, who in turn is being chased as they continue the run down the hill by Good Cody, Jimmy K, and the overback marker is Bogo. Now they make their way on down the end towards the end of the back straight. They're shortly returning the bend to make their way on around the bend, and as they do so, it is Ross Bridge who's got the advantage from Don't Be Going Long out wide, and they in turn are being followed by Mini Mungus with in behind these. Then races Fortune and Favour as they swing the bend with further back stuntman Steve and Don Supreme. Good Cody is next, and then Bogo and the overback markers Jimmy K as they come to the third. And all safely out over it and make the bend now. That's going to take them up the straight towards fences 4, 5, 6 and 7. And as they do so, out front, it is showing the way Ross Bridge has got the advantage from Don't Be Gone Long towards the outside. Inside then races Fortune and Favour, and they in turn are being followed by Mini Mungus as they go on towards the next, the one that'll be the last in the Clipper Circuit's time. And further back behind these to find stuntman Steve with Don Supreme. Good Cody's towards the inside, and they in turn are being tracked by Bogo, and the overall back marker at this point continues to be Jimmy K. As they continue on now to make their way on towards the first of the 2 fences past the winning post. And over in front, it was Ross Bridge who has the advantage for Owen Staples, being followed in second by Don Supreme and Donal O'Connor, and they in turn are being tracked down the inside by Fortune and Favour, the mount of Ross Sugary, as they swing the bend. And in behind these then races Mini Mungus and Frankie Murphy, who in turn has been followed by Good Cody and Jack Hendrick. Further back behind these, the stuntman Stephen Barry O'Neill, who's ahead of the orange jacket of Don Supreme and Joey Dunn. Bogo and Brian Lawless is next, and the overback markers Jimmy K and Mikey Sweeney. Continuing the downhill run along the back straight, and as they do so, it is showing the way. It's Don't Be Gone Long from Ross Bridge in second. They in turn are being tracked by Mini Mungus, and they in turn are being followed by Fortune and Favour. Stuntman Steve is next, who in turn has been followed by Don Supreme is next, and further back behind these to the black jacket with the green hoops of Good Cody. Bogo and black and white is next, and they're being followed by the purple and yellow colours of Jimmy K as they swing the bend and make their way on towards the next. It's fence number 8 this time, and as they do so, out front, it is still showing the way Don't Be Gone Long for the Liam Kenny yard, being followed in second as they go it over by Ross Bridge. Stuntman Steve is third, and they in turn are being tracked by Mini Mungus, with further back behind these races Favour and Fortune and Favour, with in behind these then races Don Supreme, and then Bogo and Jimmy K as they go on now to make their way on towards the fence. That'll be their last in a complete circuit's time. And as they do so, over in front, it was stuntman Steve who possibly touched down with the advantage from Ross Bridge in the blue. They in turn are being followed by the red jacket of Mini Mungus, with next up in behind these races Fortune and Favour, who in turn has been tracked by Don't Be Going Long, and further back behind these to Don Supreme, Good Cody, Jimmy K and Bogo as they clear it over the fence that is 5 in the finish and continue the climb that's going to take them on towards 4 out. It is Ross Bridge and stuntman Steve who dispute up front. Towards the inside of these then races the red jacket of Mini Mungus, and then Favour and Fortune, and they're being followed by Good Cody, Don Supreme, and next up comes Jimmy K. 4 to 5 lengths for a break have opened up now to find Don't Be Gone Long, who in turn is a length and a half to 2 in front of Bogo. Making their way now downhill, and they have got 4 fences left to be jumped, and 3 rather, and as they do so, it is close to call up front, and it's Mini Mungus with Favour and Fortune and Favour, and they in turn are being followed by Ross Bridge, Jimmy K out wide. They're being chased by Stuntman Steve. Don Supreme is in behind the leading group, and they in turn are being followed by Good Cody, Don't Be Gone Long, and Bogo's ridden along as they begin now to make their way around the bend that's going to take them on towards their third last fence. And as they do so, it is Don't Be Gone Long who's Jimmy K who's got the advantage from back in second. Then races Stuntman Steve, and they in turn are being followed by Ross Bridge, who in turn has been tracked by Don Supreme as they go to the third last. Over in front, it was Stuntman Steve who regained the advantage, been followed in the second spot by Jimmy K. Back in third behind these is Don Supreme, but as they come on now towards the second last, it is Stuntman Steve who's got the advantage. He's down. Stuntman Steve was down when holding the advantage at the second last, and that leaves Ross Bridge with the advantage. Don Supreme's trying to come home well on the near side, and they're then being followed by Good Cody. But as they go up towards the line, it's Ross Bridge who's got the advantage going close to home. Good Cody's lunging, but Ross Bridge is going to get there for Owen Staples and Rob James. Tight for the second and third between Good Cody over on the far side. The near side was Don Supreme. They in turn were followed in by Fortune and Favour, and then came Jimmy K and Mini Mungus. Looking back, glad to report Barry O'Neill is to his feet after his second last fence departure. Bogo was pulled up on the home bend.